Willpower, that magical force we think separates success from failure. But what if science shows it's actually the least important factor in changing our lives?
That's such an intriguing perspective, especially since 92% of New Year's resolutions fail by February.
Let me share something embarrassing that proves this point. 2 weeks ago, I bought these absurdly expensive neon orange running shoes, convinced they'd transform me into a morning runner.
Oh, yes, those shoes that could probably be seen from space. How's that working out?
Well, they're currently collecting dust under my bed. 3 days. That's how long my willpower lasted. This morning, I actually threw my phone across the room when the alarm went off.
You know what's fascinating? Research shows that willpower is like a muscle that gets depleted throughout the day. The more you use it, the weaker it becomes.
Hold up. So you're telling me all those motivational speakers saying just push harder are actually giving terrible advice?
Exactly right. Studies from the American Psychological Association show that relying on willpower alone has only a 12% success rate for lasting behavior change.
Okay, but if willpower isn't the answer, what is? Because I had what I thought was a solid goal: running a marathon.
Let me break this down with some data. A study of Olympic athletes showed that winners and losers had identical goals, but drastically different systems.
Systems versus goals. That's interesting. So, what makes a good system?
Research from behavioral scientists shows that tiny 1% improvements compound to a 37-fold increase over 1 year.
That sounds great, but what does a 1% improvement actually look like in real life?
Here's where it gets counterintuitive. For tomorrow, your only goal should be putting on those neon shoes. That's it. No running required.
Just put on the shoes? That seems almost ridiculous. How does that lead to running a marathon?
Studies show that starting with a 2-minute version of a habit makes you 80% more likely to stick with it long term.
Speaking of habits, let's talk about my ongoing battle with snacking. Last night, I literally ate chips while watching a video about healthy eating.
That's a perfect example of environment design. Research shows we make over 200 food related decisions daily, and 90% are unconscious responses to our environment.
So my kitchen is basically sabotaging me? Because sometimes it feels like those chips have some kind of gravitational pull.
The data backs that up. People who keep snacks visible weigh an average of 20 pounds more than those who don't, regardless of willpower.
Fascinating. So instead of trying to resist temptation, which clearly isn't working, I should just remove the temptation?
Now we're getting to the most powerful piece: identity based habits. Research shows identity change is twice as effective as goal setting.
Identity change sounds intense. How does that actually work in practice?
Think about smoking cessation studies. People who identify as non smokers are 60% more likely to succeed than those who say they're trying to quit.
So instead of being someone who's forcing themselves to run, I need to become someone who runs. But how do you make that mental shift?
It starts with those tiny wins we discussed. Each small action is like casting a vote for your new identity.
This completely changes how I think about habit formation. It's not about motivation, it's about becoming a different person.
And that's why this approach has an 85% higher success rate than traditional goal setting methods.
For everyone listening, here's your homework. Pick one tiny habit, something that takes 2 minutes or less. The research shows that starting small leads to an 80% higher success rate.
And remember, focus on systems over goals. Your daily habits are literally rewiring your brain's neural pathways.
Thank you all for joining us on this deep dive into the science of habit formation. Keep showing up, even if it's just to put on those shoes.